Hey everyone, welcome back to Investopedia India, World of Wealth Creation with Shefali Gill. Nowadays, there is a lot of buzz about semiconductor market growth potential and how and where you can invest to get benefit of this huge growth potential in semiconductor market. On your screen, there is a chart which shows Fortune Business Report summary, and it clearly shows that if we look at the global markets, right from USD 681.05 billion in 2024, semiconductor market is poised to grow to USD 2062.5 billion by 2032, which is a CAGR of 15.4%, which really is very attractive. Now, this report shows various components in which the demand is there, the sectors in which major demand is there, the drivers, the trends. But today in this video, what we are going to discuss is we are going to discuss 7 major points related to semiconductor market, which would give you a complete insight of this market, the growth potential, the reasons, and then where should you invest to get benefited out of it. So first of all, we would be covering what exactly is semiconductor sector, then the growth potential of semiconductor sector in India. Then we would be covering the key drivers for the growth of semiconductor market in India. Then we would be covering the challenges. Then we would talk about the major sectors and companies which are working in semiconductor sector. And then we would be covering the top picks where you can invest in 2025 to get benefited out of semiconductor theme. Now, the stocks which we would be talking here would be the stocks which are already doing very good in their business domain and are also getting benefited because of semiconductor theme. And in the last of the video, we would be covering a price comparison chart of these top picks, which would help you evaluate further and decide further where and how much allocation should you give to the semiconductor sector and where should you exactly invest in semiconductor sector. However, as I always say, investment gives maximum return or desired returns only when they are correctly mapped to you and to your financial goals, which depends on your financial profile, financial health, and definitely your risk appetite. So before taking any investment decisions, it's very important that you do your risk profile analysis and your financial health analysis. If in case you need our help, we are happy to help you. You need to get in touch with us on 9821611667, or you can write to us on info@investopediaindia.com. Otherwise, you can also write below in the comment section your contact details and we will get back to you, and we will not publish your comment so that your contact details would not be available to other people. But before I do that, I have a small request. If you're liking the content of the video and you have not yet subscribed the channel, please do subscribe by pressing the subscribe and bell button below. Also, do like and share the video and share your comments in the comment box below with the reviews, like how you are liking the content, what are the good points, what are the bad points, what you want us to improve on, which would definitely help us improvise our content. And now let's get started with the video. Now, the first part of the video, what exactly is semiconductor sector and what is this buzz around it? So basically, what is semiconductor sector? Semiconductor sector is the global industry which focuses on designing, manufacturing and selling microchips. Now, these microchips are required in automation, in AI integration and what not. Why? Because semiconductor on your screen shows a material that is used to complete the electric circuit. It can either block or it can complete the circuit so that the electric current is passed through it. How it is impacting each and everything is being shown in the second chart. So this is the reason why semiconductor is everywhere and there is a lot of buzz about it. However, now let's see graphically based on the numbers that in Indian markets, what is the growth potential of semiconductor market. We have already looked at the global growth prospect starting of the video. Coming on to the Indian market growth prospect, which shows in 2024, it stands at 52.90 billion and is poised to go to 189.42 billion by 2035. So the growth prospect is almost in proportion to the global markets, lying in between 15 to 16% CAGR. The next chart on your screen clearly shows how the CAGR is 16% for Indian market semiconductor growth potential. Now, most importantly, I'm telling you that the semiconductor market is going to grow with such a huge CAGR in Indian markets. You would obviously have this query that why? So we will definitely discuss about the growth drivers, and these definitely are really convincing. The first one is the government incentives and initiatives. So recently, India Semiconductor Mission is launched by India with outlay of 76,000 crore, and this definitely is backed up by various PLI schemes. The next sector definitely is booming electronic demand, and we know that in the manufacturing of each and every electronic, be it the smartphone or be it the refrigerator, everywhere semiconductor devices are used. The third one is the 5G rollout. So again, to improve the connectivity, to get better networks, everywhere these semiconductor devices are being used either in the form of chips or in the form of various other devices. Automotive growth again leads to the increased demand in semiconductor devices. So every new age thing which we talk about eventually goes and gets connected to semiconductor, and therefore there is a lot of buzz about it, right? Now, coming on to the next one, that is the talent pool. Now, this one is interesting. If we talk about the research and development in semiconductor sector, in India, almost 20% of the world's chip designers are based out of India. So India is a big hub for R&D of semiconductors. Last but not the least, global demand, global supply chain diversification, China plus one, not only for our consumption, but now we are in the league to export semiconductor and the related products. So this has led to a lot of demand. Now coming on to a very important aspect of the drivers which is leading to this growth in the semiconductor sector. These are some recent developments and investments which has happened in 2025 which are going to impact this a lot. The first one is HCL Foxconn joint venture. It happened in May 2025 to establish a fabrication unit in Uttar Pradesh for manufacturing display driver chips. The second one is Micron Technology. It is a plant based in Gujarat. Validation in June 2025, marking a significant milestone in India's advanced packaging capabilities. The third one is Tata Semiconductor, Tata's OSAT facility in Assam, expected to be carbon neutral by running this renewable hydropower, and it is beginning in 2026. The last one is the international collaborations, the Semicon which has happened, and it was almost backed up by 76,000 crore outlay, wherein all the countries like Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, everyone participated, and it was a big time success in terms of the partnerships. Coming on to the challenges. So everything has pros as well as cons, right? So if we talk about the challenges, definitely semiconductor research implementation requires a huge amount of capital. So high capital expenditure is one of the challenges. So not all the companies can adopt it so fast. The second one is the global competition. The whole world is talking about it and the whole world is working on it. And the third one is skilled workforce shortage. Looking at this, now comes the most important part, which is most interesting for you, that what are the major sectors and companies who are working in semiconductors where you can invest. So now we have divided this in three categories: manufacturing related companies who are working in semiconductor, design and services, and the last one would be other related sectors. Talk about first the manufacturing one: Tata Electronics, Micron Technology, Vedanta Foxconn, CG Power and Industrial Solutions are some of the companies who are working in semiconductor manufacturing. Coming on to the second, design and services: HCL Technologies, Tata Elxsi, ACM Technologies, Moschip Technologies. These provide chip designing facilities. Coming on to the third one, other related sectors. So companies like who are working in electronic manufacturing like Dixon Technology, IT services like Infosys, power system like ABB. So the next chart on your screen, it clearly shows if we break the India semiconductor market in terms of leading players on your screen. The major portion goes to Chip Semiconductor Technologies and Vedanta Semiconductor Private Limited. Then comes HCL Technologies, Tata Group, BEL, and then various others which we talked about. Now coming on in 2025, which are the top picks which are good to invest, which are already doing good in their business domain as well as are getting benefited out of this semiconductor theme. I would be talking about 5 stocks with a rationale why it is good to invest in those stocks to get benefited out of semiconductor theme as well. The first one would be HCL Technologies. As you all know, it is a renowned IT player, a leading IT service company with strong capabilities in semiconductor engineering and design services. The next one is Tata Elxsi, provides design and technology services included embedded systems for semiconductor design. The third one is BEL Bharat Electronics. We all know it is one of the largest players in defense and is doing really good. However, it is also expanding into civilian sectors including semiconductor manufacturing. Coming on to the next one, that is Keynes Technology, an electronic manufacturing services provider venturing into semiconductor assembly and testing, that is OSAT. We talked about Tata OSAT plant. The last but not the least is the Infosys. Infosys, as we all know, is one of the leading IT players, has recently also announced a buyback. There is a lot of buzz about this stock. However, if we talk about semiconductor theme, it provides a range of semiconductor solutions and services from chip design to manufacturing and IT operations, accelerating chip-to-chip cloud strategies for its clients, silicon design services, embedded software development, smart manufacturing, fab in a box, and a lot many options. The last but not least, as promised on your screen, there is a price comparison chart amongst these top players which I talked about right now, the top picks of 2025 which would get benefited out of semiconductor theme. Out of these 4 stocks I have plotted on this price comparison chart, and from the price comparison chart, look at the major movement. Keynes Technology has shown a drastic movement and is very much because of semiconductor theme. So please comment and tell me, out of these 4, which one would you prefer to invest? How do you like the video? What you want us to include further in our videos? And please do like and share the video. Thank you so much.